Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. As you know, there's an ongoing contest between talon1958 and angelina75 as to who has to get up over the weekend, look after the child. And that's Remy, by the way. And you're looking at the Hummel, the Tier 6 German SPG, located on the south spawn of Pearl River under the command of talon1958. Well, this is a series of replays featuring Talon and Angelina. Always fun pitting those two replays together because, of course, Angelina learned a lot of how she plays the Arty from Talon. Yes, he's the guy who's actually helping her initially, but she's actually now got a lot better than him. Well, I say that, but that's only because I've seen quite a few of their replays now. Oh, and those two tanks collided after they got hit by Talon's shell. And the setter, I think, has now decided he probably doesn't want to go into the village because he's getting absolutely pummeled. Okay, well, Talon's decided that instead he's going to go for the BK32M. And he gets a hit for 243. You can see that shell landed right on top of the turret. Now the Hummel, it's based on the Panzer IV, but it has Panzer III equipment in it, and it was fairly easy for the Germans to manufacture it once they designed it. It started work in 1942. Oh, that one hit the gun mantlets! Yep, there's a huge hole there now. They started work on it in 1942, but they didn't actually start production until 1943. So it took them a little while to get around to building this Arty. But once they started going, they built 705 of them, and that was a direct hit on the E25. And they also built 157 ammo carriers as well, the munitions Trager, which is basically the same vehicle, but without the gun. Instead, it's got extra racks for carrying the ammo. Well, that tank's died. There's back to the E75. You see the blind hit actually landed just on the side of him. And another direct hit right on the roof this time. 243 hit points. Talon certainly does know how to rack up the damage, and the reason for that is he does let the aim settle on the target before he shoots. He's very precise. He likes to get accurate shots on the enemy vehicles, and it certainly shows in the end. Well, that was after the E25, but we don't know if he was there. 122 TM. Over in the paddies, the rice paddies. Can he get a shot on that guy? We've lost sight of him. He's looking around for another target. Can't see a shot. There's the 122 TM again. So he's going back to this guy. Let the aim settle. Almost ready. Can try and get a shot on this guy as he stops to take a shot. Rounds out. Direct hit. 196, and he's killed immediately afterwards. So Talon picks up the stun assist. Okay, we've got a T-44 poking and shooting. Don't see that will change. A lot of people like to come back to a second bite of the same cherry, and usually it's fatal if you do that, so it's not always a good idea. Rounds out, and Talon's shot actually hit the T-44 directly. So he did get a strike there. In the town we've got an IS. I'm afraid all our tanks that went into the town centre got wiped out. But the enemy tanks in the town centre, I'm not so sure they're doing so well at the moment. Rounds out. That's a direct hit. He hit the IS. Okay, we lost our teammate as he got close to the enemy Arty. Unfortunately, because we're using the stock gun, it's short range, which means we can't reach the enemy M44. If we had the top gun, we might be able to reach him. In fact, we certainly reach him, but unfortunately on this occasion we don't. Now the reason for having the stock gun is because it's far more accurate and it has a much higher trajectory. Plus, of course, it's got a faster reload. And you can't ignore a faster reload because it really does mean you pump out more shells. Now, at the back of the vehicle, you can see he's got an ace tanker in this vehicle, and he's got certain other achievements awards on the sides, including a high caliber. He's moving as fast as he can to get away from that T-44, who's obviously out for revenge. But there are places you can go and still be able to shoot at the enemy. Sometimes it actually works to watch what's going on the mini-map, unlike that M44 over there, and ensure that you are capable of surviving. If you don't pay attention, sometimes you end up getting wiped out by an enemy tank that appears suddenly, and although the enemy just lost the tank, they still got that T-44 in. Well, this is a nice little spot from here. He can shoot back at the cap area without being seen. Yep, just needs to back up a little bit, not too far into the water, otherwise you will drown. It's fairly deep there. Okay, there's that T-44 and he's a splash kill. We're dialing in, he's moving. Okay, now he's stopped for a second. Gonna try a shot, runs out. And, well, it's a near miss, but it shaved off another 65 hit points. And we've got an E25 nearby as well. Now, can we get another shot in? Almost reloaded. Oh, our AMX AC-48 is trying to push the T-44, but unfortunately, well, the T-44 goes down, but the E-25 is now behind him. Now, if you're wondering, the stock reload for the 15cm gun is actually 25.31 seconds, whereas the Top Gun actually takes 29.82, so you can see it's a big difference between the two. Plus, of course, Talon's managed to shave off even more time. He's using premium consumables, he's got a good crew, he's got a rammer, and his time has dropped to 20.5 seconds between each shot. And that's very, very good indeed. In fact, there's only one enemy left now because they wiped out the E25 and they just killed an S51 up the other end. There's only one enemy left, an M44, and they're all now hunting for him. And he's been found, he was at the other end of the map, and the IS-3A got him as well. So that's the end of the first game. It's a victory. Let's have a look at the second game. In the second battle, we've got Talon on the Westbourne of Berlin. Okay, game on. Now he's still in the same Hummel with the stock gun, which I thoroughly recommend, because even with the limitations about the long range, the shell trajectory is so much better because it's so much higher, which means you can shoot over obstacles. The trajectory of the top gun, which is the very long barreled 15cm, is actually quite flat. And that does present problems sometimes. It's a bit like the French Arty, where you have to actually try and shoot over obstacles and sometimes you fail. Now he's popping off down to this little road here, which I kind of favour because it actually gives you some protection from enemy tanks that are coming from the field. So you get a bit of warning, or you can actually protect yourself until they see you at the last moment. But you can also shoot either directly into the town centre or over onto the bridge, and apparently an enemy tank is trying to make his way off the bridge right now. Whoa, we missed that bit. Now he's looking to try and get a shot on enemy tanks in that little courtyard in the centre. He's dialed in on the KV2 and it lands right next door to him. That was an RNG shot where, yeah, RNG interfered. He was aiming directly at the KV2, but RNG said, nope, I'm not going to land on that Soviet tank, so you failed to hit that one. Can't do that every time though, and well, Talon's about to shoot again. Rounds out. This time round he hit, and he hit right on the gun barrel. Look at that, on the mantlet itself. Would you believe that shot was so accurate? So I suppose it threw the shell to one side on the first time, but he can't throw it to one side the next. Will he get another accurate hit? Rounds out. Right on the front of the vehicle, and it went straight through the plates and blew him up. So he's got his first kill in the game. Right, out in the field to the south, there's a few tanks. Another good thing from being in the stock gun actually means you can still hit enemy tanks in the south if you are located in this position, because you're halfway between the two, and that means your range is good enough. And of course, as you can see here, he can launch the shell over the top of that crane and hits the Jackson with splash for 97. That Jackson's not going to be a happy bunny, and he's got very thin armor, so it's only ½ inch thick. If he can land a round on that guy, he will take him out. Or at least if he can land a round near him, he should be able to get some hit points. Well, that landed almost next to him. Now the Jackson is basically a Wolverine with a 90mm gun in a turret on top. It is basically the same. It's an M4 hull which has actually been modified and with less armour, so it is fairly vulnerable. Well, the team's doing well so far because they're 2 tanks up on the enemy, and Talon's decided to move a little bit closer to the enemy so that he can get shots on the enemy tanks at the back of the town. Over here we've got a T150, which, as you know, was one of the prototypes on their way to the KV3. The other one being the KV220. The round lands next to his engine and he picks up 57 hit points. They only made one T50 and they only made one KV220, and they sent them out actually into action. And one of them, I think it was the T150, didn't come back. The KV220 I think did, but they didn't build any more KV220s because basically they started building the KV3 instead. That T52 is about to pop. Yep, he's gone. And it's Talon who takes the kill. Okay, we've got an Achilles, which is basically the same as the Jackson, except instead of a 90mm gun, he's got the 17-pounder. He's still got that open top turret, which makes it very vulnerable to Arty. Rounds out. Can he get the shot on? Yes, he does, and he killed him. Wiped him out completely. I don't think the shell actually landed in the cockpit, but I'm pretty sure that it went straight through the armor and he got a max roll, and that was night-night for the Achilles. So you can see the contest between talon1958 and angelina75 is actually quite a strong contest, because it does mean that you're not going to get a lay-in on the weekend, because you're going to have to get up and look after Remy. But I'm sure they love looking after Remy, and Remy loves watching these videos as well. Yes, he very much enjoys watching enemy tanks go bang when his dad shoots them, or his mum for that matter. And it can be quite interesting actually watching to see who does better than the other one. Well, there's only 5 enemy left. 3 of those are Arty. One of them's in the south running for it. It's the M44. But the other 2, well, they're both M44s as well. And there's a good chance that they are somewhere on the northeast side of the map. Okay, so he's got right into the centre of town now, and he's looking for that M44. There he is. Now, can he get a shot onto the target? He's adjusting his aim, and there goes the M44. So he didn't get a shot on him. Both other SPGs in his team are M44s. They're coming across the bridge, which is a little more difficult. You have to in and out through the chicane to get across, whereas Talon's done the thing which means that he just drives straight forward over the bridge and then he can go to action. Yep, there's one of them, the M44. He didn't leave, he's still here, and he's just been spotted, so he needs to get this on target as quickly as possible because the guy's looking at him. Let it dial in, and rounds out. And oh, the M44 fired just as Talon did, but he missed Talon. I don't think Talon got anything off the M44, but our guy's going in. Looks like he's ramming him from the amount of hit points he's losing and how he's losing them. In fact, he's killed our M44, but he's now down to bare minimum hit points. So Talon's going to go in and shotgun the guy right in the face. Unfortunately, he doesn't get it because the KV-1S gets him instead, but I'm pretty sure the other enemy Arty is somewhere around here. Here he is! Now, is he going to fluff his shotgun? Well, I don't think he's paying any attention to Talon, which is a very bad decision. Because Talon's just going to do that. Dup in your face. And he's got his 4th kill. He's the top scorer on the team. Okay, that means there's only one enemy left. It's the Skoda T25. He's somewhere in the southeast corner of the map. Talon's reloaded. Unfortunately, we lost our KV-1S. Now, I'm wondering if he is in the south corner of the map. I'm wondering if he's actually a lot closer than we suppose. Because after all, the KV-1S was up this end of the map, and he just exploded to that Skoda. So I think he's actually nearby. Actually, he isn't. He was way down south, but he did see the KV-1S from a long way away. Here we go. Rounds out. Oh, brilliant shot. 5 kills. Wins the game. Well done, Talon. Well, the third replay in this video is from Ruinberg and South Spawn. And this time round, it's Angelina75's turn in the Hummel. Now, you can see from the marks of excellence on her vehicle that she's also got an ace tanker and a high caliber in this vehicle, and 2 marks of excellence on the barrel as well. Yep, she's been busily practicing in this Arty, and I think she's going to have a really good game in this one, because whenever you take a Hummel with a short barrel over to the south corner of Ruinberg, you can create devastation on the enemy tanks, because you're just landing round after round on top of them. Now she's going way over this side so she can actually first shoot at the ones coming to the crossroads. Okay, she's extending her aim, and her first target, I think that's an M4A3E8, and that was a near miss. It actually landed right next door to him, but it still picked up 236 hit points of damage. Okay, next target's a little tougher. That's an AT-15A. That's tier 7 British tank destroyer, a premium one. She's dialing in, and she's ready to go. Rounds out. Direct hit. Right on the front of the vehicle. You can see the mark where it hit. Yep, nice little hole in his front plate. Now, Angelina also is a fan of using the stock gun, because of course its characteristics of being incredibly accurate. And, well, I'm having to adjust the aim a little because I think we were looking a little too close at the target. But that's down to my settings, not down to theirs, so no concerns there. She's just having to pull back a bit because the targets are getting so close. Okay, there's the AT-15A. He's a one-shot now. He's dialing in. Rounds out. Oh, 72 hit points. His armour is all but gone. 53 hit points. He was tracked. She's marked the spot to let her teammates know where she's going. It's a ding-dong battle at this moment. Here she goes. Can she get a kill? Rounds out. No! It was a critical hit. How could that not do any damage to him? The shell landed on his front plate. You can see it's on the heavy armour right at the front of the vehicle. It's a yellow stain where it actually went off, but it didn't then. And the AT-15 has been killed. Okay, so she's ready to fire, and she's just lining up a shot on the Valiant. Firing in into splash. She gets some splash on the Valiant. Keeps him stunned as well. Now she's looking around for other targets, and over in the village, yep, we can see that an M4A1 just died, and now she's looking to get a shot on the Leopard instead. Here we go. Just line him up, wait for him to stop moving, and oh, he's being very difficult this one. Rounds out. Yes, she got a hit. 175. Now, Remy's a big fan of our videos at What's Arty Noobs. He watches a lot of them, and he also laughs very hard when his dad or his mum does incredibly well. Of course, he loves the contest, you see. It's great visuals for him. And we're always pleased to have Remy as a supporter. Oh, that guy's just died. That was the M4A3E8 that she hit earlier in the game. She's going for the Super Hellcat now. Rounds out. Oh, he pulled away just... So he's avoided that shot. Happens to me all the time when I do that. There's only 6 enemies left, but there's only 6 left on our team as well. All the Arty are still alive. Okay, we've lost sight of everyone in the village. We have the town area. She's just guessing that he might be there. Oh, she guessed correctly. He was there. He was sitting between those 2 buildings because he ate the shot. I always like it when you aim at a target and you fire a round in and you see that there's no explosion. You know the enemy had to eat that and it probably hurt him quite a bit. And usually it's very bad for the enemy because they realised that they weren't spotted. It's just that they didn't move, and because they didn't move, the Arty player knew exactly where to put the shell, and he hit the spot where he'd previously seen them, or he worked out where they would be hiding. Now we think the Hellcat is actually hiding behind that wall, using that rubble for a firing position, so he can go hull down. And he's actually moved. There he is. He's actually moved. He's sneaky. He went round the other side to try and get shots on the T150. Our M44's moving up as well. So we're 1 down on the enemy now. It's not a major problem because we can still win this game. Just trying to work out where to put the shell. I wonder if she's going to put the shot in the same place she did before. There's a Cromwell and a Super Hellcat somewhere around. Rounds out. Well, that one, the shell went to the right, so she missed the target. But he could still be there because we do have a tank destroyer up that end of the map, a T-67, and he hasn't seen him. But now we can see the Hellcat, and she's only got a partial reticule. So let's see if she can get this. Rounds out. Yes! And a kill! And that equalises the scores. And now there's 3 Arty on the enemy team, only 2 on ours. But I think we know where the enemy Arty might be. Oh, we just lost our M44 to their S51. I have the feeling their enemy Arty is in the north end of the map. We can see the Super Hellcat's actually going after the T-67, but the T-67 is taking him apart bit by bit. Oh, and he gets taken out. Angelina fires in, and she kills him! That was a penetrating round because he got 461 hit points. Angelina really murdered that one. She really took him out because that shell went right through the engine deck of the Hellcat, and that was the end of him. Okay, so now it's 3 versus 4. They can still win this. There's one of the enemy Arty, the M44. Now he's just got smacked by the Super Hellcat, but he's probably driving in to try and get a shotgun. Angelina's going to try and take him out from here. Line him up, rounds out. Yes! 4 kills! 4 kills now for Angelina. You can see how she's so good. And Talon's got a really tough contest on his hands if he's going to try and beat her every week. They do phenomenally well. The scores are now even, but the enemy team has 2 Artys. We only have 1 left. Technically that does give us the advantage, so to speak, because of course Arty are short range in terms of eyesight, which means they don't normally see an opponent coming. They've only got a 260 meter view range, the M44, but their S51 just killed our T150. Now, do we know which direction it came from? He's up in the right side of the map. He's up on the hill near the village. That's where he is. The T150 driver indicated where the shell must have come from, and that's just Angelina and the Super Hellcat. The Super Hellcat's capping. Now, in my view, she ought to go straight up and try and kill. There's the Cromwell. Now, he's trying to get resets. Okay, she's been spotted. Fires around in. Unfortunately, that monument is in the way. And the S51 was up on the other side. He was at the top. He's coming down now for the Super Hellcat. The Cromwell's still up there. The Super Hellcats decided to go and kill them both because the Cromwell does have minimal hit points. He only needs a near miss. There's the SU-51. There's the SU-8. So although there's 3 left on the enemy team, they could still do this if the Super Hellcat can get a shot. It's unfortunate that Angelina was taken out. The SU-8 takes a big hit, but he loses on his derp. Now, of course, the Cromwell knows that the Hellcat's got a very long reload, but he must realise as well that, yeah, that can happen. So it's now 2 Arty versus 1 Super Hellcat. And there's the SU-8. Just pulls back to get him in sight. He's out the game. That means it's now just that S-51 and the Super Hellcat. And that has to give the advantage to the Super Hellcat now. He's just got to wait for the reload, go unspotted, and then circle around to take out the S-51. Yes, the S-51's just fired and he's got a long reload, which means that all the Super Hellcat has to do is drive up, find him, and shoot him. He has to be fairly close. There he is. He's still in reload. And this is for the game. No, he doesn't get it. Now, will the S-51 reload before the Super Hellcat does? Yes, he does. The Super Hellcat wins. So this one is also a victory, but sadly I'm afraid Angelina did not survive. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats for all 3 games. Well, here's the end of battle results for the first game, and that was the one on Pearl River. Talon managed to get a second-class tanker in the game. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 10, and he got a Confederate medal because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And his win rate in the game was 2,187, which is very good indeed. Let's have a look at team scores. Well, yes, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. He got 1,612 hit points. The high caliber went to the IS-3A with 3,859. He also picked up a Pascucci's medal. The second highest damage was the Progetto 46, who managed 2,342 hit points. So he wasn't far off the top, but he did make a very useful contribution to the game by getting that Confederate medal. When it came to kills, it was the Progetto 46 and the AMX AC 48. Both got 4 kills each. The IS-3 only got 3 kills. Talon didn't get any at all, but he did hit most of the enemy, well, enough of the enemy to actually get the Confederate. When it came to base XP, it's the IS-3A again who did the best with 1,240. 990 went to the Progetto 46, 816 went to the AMX AC 48, and then we've got Talon with 762, so he's in 4th place on XP. He fired 12 rounds in that game, got 7 direct hits, but no penetrations at all, 12 splash. Damage of 1,612 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 7 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he did get 675 hit points of stun assist off 10 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 44,393 credits, got 30,000 for completing a mission, total of 74,393, and after ammunition reload, took away 68,333 credits altogether. 1,143 XP, 4,572 for completing a mission, and 5,715 experience points altogether. So a very solid first game for Talon. He did have the presence of mind to move away from the cap period before the enemy turned up, because if he tried to run away after they did turn up, he would have been taken out of the game. So by relocating, he actually helped his team a lot. Let's have a look at the second game. That was the one on Berlin, and in this one Talon managed to get a first-class tanker. He also got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He ended up with 5. He was just 1 short of getting a top gun, and of course he did get that nice shotgun on the enemy M44. If his shot had actually hit the M44 that he was aiming at in a hurry, I think he would have ended up with a top gun for the game, but sadly it wasn't to be. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 15. And in this game, he did much better. His win rate is 3,505, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, on this occasion, the highest damage actually went to the M44 and the enemy team with 1,696. The next highest damage went to the VK3002M on his own team with 1,653. And then the Skoda T25 on the enemy team, 1,652, 1 hit point less. And then we've got Talon with 4th place, 1,534 hit points out of that one. But when it came to kills, he's got the highest number. 5 kills went to Talon, 3 kills went to the Skoda T25, and then the M44 Hellcat and both M44s on the enemy team all got 2 kills apiece. When it came to base XP, it's Talon. Yes, he's got the highest in kills and the highest in base XP. 845 went to Talon, 836 went to the VK3002M, and 784 went to the Jackson. He fired 11 rounds in this game, 4 direct hits, 2 penetrations, 8 splash, damage of 1,534 hit points, of which 977 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see some close range work in this game, and of course that shotgun right in the face. Who says what Arty players don't move? What Arty Noobs players do, we move quite effectively, and then we get to shotgun people in the face with our 15 centimeter. 2 enemy vehicles were spotted, 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed, and 12 hit points of damage assistance. And he got 4 stuns in the game, but he didn't get any stun assists whatsoever. 36,216 credits. He got 50,000 for completing the mission events, total of 86,216 altogether. And after ammunition resupply, took away 80,661 credits altogether. So you can see it's actually quite profitable playing the Hummel at this tier. 1,267 XP times 2 for the first victory, 2,535 experience points altogether. So a nice 5 kill game for talon1958. Let's see how Angelina did on Ruinberg. Well, yes, she got a second class tanker in this game, a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills, she got 4 exactly, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. She managed to get 16 in this one. Her win rate was 3,127, which is also Super Unicum standard. And let's have a look at the team score and see where she comes. Well, in this one, she got the second highest damage. The Super Hellcat managed to get a Pascucci's and 1,889 hit points. Then Angelina managed to get 1,630, and the third highest damage was the T150 with 1,367. When it came to kills, though, it was shared between Angelina and the Cromwell B on the enemy team. Both had 4 kills apiece. 3 kills went to the Super Hellcat and also to the S51 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, the Super Hellcat did the best with 879. The T150 got 745, and then we've got Angelina with 722, so third place on base XP. She fired 15 rounds in this game, got 7 direct hits and 2 penetrations on the enemy, which included that Super Hellcat, which she smacked in the rear just after he killed the T67. And I'm sure the T67 driver was very pleased to see the Hellcat blow up a moment after he was taken out. That's kind of instant karma, instant revenge. 9 splash on the enemy as well. 1,630 hit points of damage, all of it done at more than 300 meters. She received 1 hit. It was a penetration. That was the shot from the S51. It was right on target, wiped her out, penetrated through the vehicle. No way she could survive that. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, and on a premium count, she earned 35,322 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away 25,558 credits. 1,083 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 2,166 for completing a mission, same again from personal reserves, took away 6,498 experience points altogether. So another brilliant game from Angelina. I show you the contest is running very, very strongly, and although you've seen this replay with the Hummel today, I've got another one coming up where the two are battling it out in the M44, so stay tuned for that video. If you enjoyed this replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.